Nobody could have predicted what happened that night under the bright lights of Las Vegas. Two legends, carved from completely different worlds, stood face to face in a moment that felt like it was stolen from a dream or a glitch in the universe. On one side, Mike Tyson, the embodiment of raw power and controlled chaos, a name that still makes boxing fans sit a little straighter. On the other, John Cena, the face of hustle, loyalty, and respect, a titan of the wrestling world who carried the weight of a generation's entertainment on his shoulders. This wasn't a boxing match. It wasn't a wrestling show. It was something in between, something nobody knew how to define. And maybe that's what made it so dangerous. When word first leaked that Tyson and Cena were training behind closed doors, most people thought it was a joke. Some viral stunt cooked up for attention. But whispers turned into rumors, and rumors exploded into headlines. TMZ caught a blurry photo outside a Miami gym. Sports blogs lit up. Fans were divided. Some said it was disrespectful to both sports. Others called it a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. But one thing was certain, this was happening. And the question wasn't if the fight would change their legacies. It was how. Tyson, older now but no less intimidating, had been keeping to himself, sharpening his instincts like a predator waiting to pounce. He wasn't here for a show. He wasn't here for nostalgia. He had a look in his eyes that said he still had something to prove, and somebody was about to pay for it. Cena, ever the showman, never underestimated a challenge. But this wasn't about belts or brands. It wasn't scripted. No safety nets, no second takes. Just one ring, two warriors, and the deafening silence of anticipation. Training footage began to leak. Tyson's hooks still thundered like cannon blasts. Cena's conditioning looked otherworldly. Their camp said nothing, letting the hype bubble and boil. Fans picked sides. Debates flared across Reddit, YouTube, and sports radio. Could Tyson survive the unorthodox strength and stamina of a modern athlete like Cena? Could Cena, trained in the rhythms of WWE, truly stand toe-to-toe with one of the most feared boxers in history? Neither man gave interviews. Neither flinched. What really sparked everything, though, was the confrontation backstage at an award show, caught on someone's phone and uploaded before anyone could stop it. No punches thrown, just a stare down. But it sent shockwaves through the combat sports world. Tyson didn't blink. Cena didn't smile. That 5 seconds was all it took. Sponsors came calling. Networks circled. And the contracts were signed. But just as everything seemed set, something unexpected began to unfold. Someone close to the fight camp, whose identity still hasn't been revealed, leaked a chilling voice memo online. In it, a trainer warns, if this goes the way we think, someone's not walking out the same. From the outside, everything looked like it was moving forward exactly as planned. Press conferences, contract signings, training montages. But behind the scenes, cracks were starting to show, and the deeper you looked, the more it felt like this wasn't just a fight. It was something personal, something rooted in more than just pride or competition. Whispers of a private meeting between Tyson's inner circle and a former WWE official started making rounds online, stirring up theories that this clash was never about proving who was better. It was about unfinished business. And maybe even revenge. But revenge for what? Nobody knew for sure. Yet that voice memo had already planted the seed of doubt in everyone's mind. The energy around both camps shifted after that. Cena's team added new security, and Tyson reportedly stopped training in public gyms altogether. One of Tyson's longtime sparring partners vanished from the media circuit after making a vague comment during a podcast. Let's just say this isn't the first time they crossed paths. That statement raised eyebrows everywhere, because as far as anyone knew, Mike Tyson and John Cena had never shared a ring, or even a room, before this. So what was he talking about? Journalists dug deeper. Footage from an underground charity event years ago resurfaced, showing a younger Cena at ringside for a private exhibition Tyson took part in. Nobody noticed it then, but now, with tensions rising, every detail mattered. Then came the night of the weigh-in. The atmosphere was beyond intense. Tyson walked in like a man entering war. Cena didn't speak, didn't pose. No jokes, no jabs, just a silent intensity that felt heavier than words. But as the crowd roared and cameras flashed, an unexpected guest stepped onto the stage. A former promoter, once connected to both men in different eras, grabbed the mic and dropped the bombshell. This fight was in motion long before you ever heard about it. And trust me, The real story hasn't even started yet. The mic cut out before he could say more, and security escorted him off, but the damage was done. The internet went into meltdown. What did he mean? Was there a deeper reason this match had been set up? Rumors exploded again. Some believable, others completely wild. One theory claimed Cena had once turned down a major crossover event that Tyson had secretly backed, causing a fallout behind closed doors. Another suggested a powerful media company was pulling strings from the shadows, using both legends as pawns in a much bigger play. But buried beneath all the noise was a leaked snippet of medical documents that sent a shiver through the fanbase. A name was blacked out, but the notes mentioned head trauma, internal bleeding, and a warning. Fighter must be pulled if symptoms worsen. It wasn't clear who the file belonged to, but the timing couldn't have been worse. Now, it wasn't just about who would win. It was about who could survive. It started like no other fight night, not because of the lights or the crowd or even the buzz online, but because everyone in that building felt like they were watching something they weren't supposed to see. The air held a strange kind of tension, the kind that makes people speak a little softer, blink a little less. Tyson entered first, shoulders squared, his silence louder than any roar. Cena followed, but there was something different in his face. Not nerves, not confidence, more like a storm he was trying to contain. Both men locked eyes, and in that instant, you could feel the past pressing up against the present. Something unspoken passed between them, like two warriors who had shared a battlefield long before this night. The bell rang and everything else disappeared. Tyson came out with measured aggression. Not reckless but calculated, like every move was aimed at finishing this pass. Cena held his ground with a style no one expected. Disciplined, technical, as if he'd been training in shadows all along. It wasn't the mismatch many predicted. It was war. Round after round, bodies clashed, sweat flew, and the crowd moved as one, gasping with every exchange. Somewhere in the sixth round, Tyson landed a shot so brutal it echoed through the arena. But Cena didn't fall. He staggered, spit blood, and grinned. A grin that said, "That all you got?" The crowd lost its mind. Then came round 9, and everything changed. As Tyson leaned in to press the attack, Cena stepped back and countered with a body shot that forced the legend to pause. Just for a second. But in that second, the story shifted. For the first time, Tyson looked human. Both men were bleeding now. Faces swollen, gloves heavy, but neither willing to break. That's when it happened. A low murmur started spreading through the front rows. Security moved toward the broadcast booth. A figure had slipped past the barrier, a man wearing a black hoodie and a staff badge. Cameras didn't catch him at first, but ringside officials knew exactly who he was. The man from the weigh-in, the one who dropped the cryptic message and vanished. He climbed onto the apron and tossed something toward the announcers. An envelope. Before he could be pulled away, he shouted just 3 words. "Check the contracts." The fight continued, but the broadcast cut to an unexpected split screen. Producers, caught off guard, showed the contents of the envelope live. Inside were copies of an older, unsigned agreement from years back. One that listed Tyson and Cena as opponents in a private match held in an off-the-books venue. No official record, no audience, just a brutal, unsanctioned fight. The date matched the timeline of that mysterious medical file, and the final note on the page. Outcome sealed. No rematch clause. As the 12th and final round began, everything became clear. This wasn't a fresh rivalry. This was a reckoning. A promise made in pain, paid back under the brightest lights. When the final bell rang, both men stood. Barely. The judges were split, but the winner didn't matter anymore. Tyson walked toward Cena, bruised and shaking. And for the first time in the entire build-up, they spoke. No mic. No cameras close enough to catch it. But whatever was said, it left Cena nodding slowly, eyes glassy. Not from the damage, but from whatever truth had finally been spoken. The official result was announced, but fans barely heard it. All they remembered was the handshake that followed, firm, heavy, and silent. 2 men bound by something deeper than sport. Later that night, a video surfaced on Cena's social media. It was old footage, time-stamped from years ago. A dark room. A ring. Tyson on one knee, blood pouring from his mouth. Cena standing over him, haunted. The captions simply read, "Some stories aren't ready to be told. Until now." And just like that, everything made sense. and nothing did.